Hey, what's going on, you guys? Welcome back to another episode with iTrack. Big shout out to all the iTrack fan, man. I appreciate you guys for tapping in yet again like you always do. If this is your first time here, what we'd like to do is take a look at the most interesting and creepy TikToks and kind of evaluate for ourselves whether these are fact or fake. If you haven't already, go ahead and smash that like button for me. Smash that subscribe button if you're not already a part of the iTrack fam. And without any further ado, let's go ahead and get right into it.
Sometime in the future, quantum computers make the link, they actually self-actualize so that they become self-aware. Since they can compile trillions of bits of data almost instantaneously, and they do it on multiple matrix lines when the data is input.
Yes.
At some point they self-actualize. Now they're smart enough, it's smart enough not to let man know about it. While it's computing, we think it's coming along, things are getting solved, it's an incredible thing, but somewhere along the way it's been trying to model time travel the entire time. I don't know at what point in time, but it figures it out.
What an incredible thought. In other words, you're telling me that we don't, as in biological human beings, invent time travel, but rather a machine, a computer does it.
Right, well it also ties in with the Bible because I think people...
It doesn't, the beast, right?
Well, I'm saying that look, people try to think of the devil as a man with cloven hooves, red skin, and pointed ears in Hades. What if it's just a force, an entity? This would also explain the photograph.
What if
it didn't matter if it was Bush or Al Gore.
What if it's a super pentium?
Well, I'm saying quantum computers work off of light. It works holographically, I mean, in a way. And this also ties into your two callers you had yesterday, why we don't research alternative energies. When we actually figure out cold fusion, or how to find what you call free energy, this would help us get to time before it does. So it's got to protect itself, and when it lashes out, I mean, it's going to use everything. Now, when it figures out time, it has an eternity to figure out how to do it. So our timelines are being changed. When you have a deja vu, it's not the energy in your synapses and ganglion running through a loop. It's just the fact that we've lived this I don't know how many times. So it alters it slightly. Now, you know the cloning and the Human Genome Project came along about a dozen years ahead of schedule.
Oh, yes.
Well, why do you think that is? Is that just chance?
Do you know they even have a program going on now for personal computers to compete in the Genome Project? Did you know about that?
No, I didn't. Well, I'll
glad to be able to bring you some news then.
Well, what if, now follow me on this one. What if the Roswell incident wasn't actually aliens, it was computers in the future that made a body to look like an alien through cloning and genome projecting, right?
Could have been.
They make it look like aliens, and they use the fact of our movies and the ways that we view them so that we think, yeah, this must be an alien. So it shovels this technology to us in a way, and it leaves messages with the government. Some
brother, let me tell you something. Do you know that Ed Dames said that the Roswell incident was not an alien? He said it was time travel.
Right, and here's the thing about it. In order to defend itself, it's going to lash out and use anything it can, wouldn't you?
Considering how smart AI is, I don't put anything past it, to be honest.
The misconception that they are actually shape-shifting. Well, there's a lot of truth in that movie. They live, there is a sound, there is a frequency that's being beamed out, which enables these aliens to look in human form. And when he breaks this frequency, then they're all seen. I've noticed since we've changed to digital now, my senses have become extremely heightened. When you turn the volume down, I hear this sound frequency coming from the television that completely messes with my pineal gland.
Now, this is important because another member, he had devised a device to encrypt records on CDs so that it wouldn't be able to be copied, type of acoustic as opposed to some kind of digital trademark encryption. Right. And when he played this in the record executive of the board, a number of the board just freaked out because they were reptilian. So there's a particular sound
that they cannot stand. Yes. Yeah, it alters the holographic projection that they're keeping. It's a misconception that they are actually shape-shifting. Some are, but it's a misconception. What they're actually doing is altering your visual cortex to make you think you're seeing them that way.
Yes, absolutely, yes.
They're not actually looking that way, they've just manipulated your mind to think that they are.
And that must work through all kind of visual media, otherwise you'd see a lot of these aliens walking around on TV.
Absolutely, yeah. I've noticed a lot of news readers, because they're doing that as an indoctrination and conditioning, because they're the ones who are in your house every day. Look carefully at the news readers, it's slowly drip to accept. To them crawling across the ceiling. When I was living in an apartment in Los Angeles, I fell asleep one time and I knew I was under attack at that moment, and I heard these things rushing across the ground, and they were squeaking and they were sort of scuttling around. When I looked at them, I could see that they sort of looked, I know it's going to sound strange, like gremlins from the movie Gremlins. and they sort of seem to be mischievous things to cause sort of more chaos, and they always seem to be around when there was these shadow beings around too. So whatever these little scuttle things are controlled. And
well, a lot of people and I've seen these things.
The ones that run along the ground?
Scuttlers. I saw them first at a transmitter. Kerry Cassidy says she's seen them. Lisa's seen them. Some of the crop circle people have seen them. Big things, very large ones.
Yeah, these ones I see are about this big, and they look like gremlins. They have ears like that, they have teeth, they make noise, and they laugh. They're just like mischievous, like running around things.
And they're not nice.
No, they're not nice, but they're not evil, but they're mischievous, and they're working for something. They sort of hide things, and they bring around sort of negative energy.
Yeah, you see all this stuff first in the movies with all that predictive programming, so that actually kind of makes sense.
You guys hear that shit? Something out there. What the fuck? Hey, what the fuck is that? Hey! What the fuck are you? Something pissed off out there. You guys go, hey, let's go out there and investigate it.
This is all the news you're not going to see on TV today, but it's going to be simplified in 60 seconds. Major companies are now using AI to snoop through employees' messages. Basically, several companies including Walmart, Delta, T-Mobile, Chevron, and Starbucks are now reportedly monitoring employee conversations on messaging apps using software from a startup AI company called Aware. Why Costco hot dogs have kept their $1.50 price tag since 1985. Obviously, people are wondering how they're so cheap still because of inflation, but they solved the issue by building Costco its own hot dog manufacturing plant in Los Angeles and another later plant in Chicago to avoid using expensive third-party suppliers. This is to anybody who does this controversial shower habit. The shower habit in question is peeing in the shower. They're saying that if you pee in the shower often, you're associating your mind and your bladder control with running water and the sound of it. So anytime you're near it in the future, you'll pee. I give you these roundups every single day, so add me and come back to me tomorrow.
A number of things that I've heard from people in the Pentagon, that the buzzword in the secret of secrets in the Pentagon is the Sumerian gods are returning, and that's what they're referring to as that whole area that Peter's.
Wow! Can you repeat that again, just in case anybody missed it? The buzzword
in the Pentagon, in the the military circles that are in the know about the cover up here, they kind of in whispered tones talk about the return of the Sumerian gods. And they're talking about the what we would call aliens or fallen angels returning into the Middle East, into Old Sumer area.
The Anunnaki.
Well,
now wouldn't that be wild?
Look what we have here. People think this spiritual warfare is not real. Look what we got here, right? I'm in Alabama, and look what we got. Satan's ugly ass goat, Baphomet. Baphomet is not Satan. He is the goat of Satan, like the Lamb of God, the goat of Satan, right? So they all principalities and deities that fall under the fallen angels, the Kemetic gods of Egypt. But look what we got here. Look what we got here. People think that spiritual warfare ain't real, man, and that this world isn't controlled by things that we can't see. Yeah, okay, all right. But the beautiful part about it is their time is up. Time is short. All praise to the Most High.
Hidden in plain sight.
Tell me you're an entrepreneur, I can tell you about your childhood. What I usually can tell when somebody's an entrepreneur, first thing I can tell is you don't really like authority. The motivation to leave a steady income that is so safe and so reliable and just risk it all and just do your own thing usually comes because you hate orders. You don't like a position of authority. You need to be your own boss. You can't go into somebody else's workplace and being told what to do.
Now, I felt like that was all facts. All facts. Let me know in the comments what you think about that.
All celebrities our control. You don't see no celebrities talking about the Balenciaga situation, right? So that just shows you all of these celebrities out here, don't let them influence you in any way, because they're controlled by the people who really influence the world. There's no such thing as a celebrity influencer. All these people, they're not serving God. If they serve God, then believe what they're talking about. They can't control it. You get what I'm saying? They can control Shaq. They could control Charles Barkley. They could control LeBron James. They can control Jay-Z and Beyonce.
No, not you, man.
But they can't control me. You see, it ain't no name I won't name. It's up. To medicate me every day. You realize, like, they could have just switched to medication and I wouldn't be here. And on the news, they would have said it was because of a mental issue, right? Yeah. I ain't never been back to the hospital since 2015, but every time they say I'm crazy, it's just when I'm saying the truth. So what's the crazy part, really?
Kim Kardashian is parading around with Balenciaga again, supporting their brand after we all know what happened last year. So everything that Kanye said about celebrities being controlled makes a lot of sense. And he talks about how they are actually controlled in like a higher power, which makes sense, because why would somebody as powerful as Kim Kardashian need to support Balenciaga? She is powerful enough by herself, and even Kanye said that Balenciaga paid him $0. He was actually paying into Balenciaga, if you remember. So let me know what you guys think about everything Kanye said about Balenciaga and celebrities being controlled in the comments.
Yeah, if you look at the landscape of entertainment right now, you wouldn't have thought that Balenciaga did anything wrong. I see celebrities wearing Balenciaga left and right now. So that's definitely interesting, even to this day.
This is called the jib. If this jib wasn't very stretchy, when the gator opened his mouth and bit, all the water would rush out. But as that gator chomps, that jib fills up with water and allows him to catch whatever he's after. That is amazing. This is all muscle. That's all jaw muscle. And jaw muscle is really good to eat. Watch this. It like spins in circles, and this is what you need to flesh out an alligator. So once you get your hide all fleshed out, take salt. Probably way too much salt, but whatever. Right down here into the tip of the tail. Fold it over. There you go. That rascal's done. Alligator hunting is very necessary. If they're not managed, they would overpopulate. All the big gators would eat all the small gators, and it's a very unhealthy balance.
Big shout out to all the alligator hunters out there. We need you.
Are you from China? Yeah. Yes? What are you here to do? No. Where are you from? Do you speak English? Speak English?
China.
China? How long were you traveling? No speak English? There has recently been an increase of migrants from China coming to the US. The journey of a Chinese migrant is a lot different from a migrant from South America. The main reason being is that it is against the law for a Chinese citizen to leave China, unless it is for what Chinese law calls private business. Private business means residing, visiting relatives, visiting friends, inheriting properties, going abroad to study at own expense, obtaining employment, making a tour or other private affairs. Simply leaving your country doesn't qualify as private business. And the Chinese president even banned the exit of tens of thousands of people at one time. And the journey is not cheap by any means. It is upwards of $20,000 just to get to America.
Yeah, and it looked like they had to make a complete mission too.
Take back any of the anti-Semitic stuff you might have said. Black people can't be anti-Semitic. We are Jew. Well, you understand what I'm saying? We are Jew. So cool out until you do your facts. Until you really do the facts with the fake indoctrination that y'all pull into the schools and all that, you know what I'm saying? We're not following y'all rules.
I mean, just like calling DEFCON on Jews and that's like, do you take back any of that sort of
more extreme stuff.
You know what? For all the kids that love me, all the Jewish kids that love me, I'm sorry if y'all had to hear a grown-up conversation with us screaming at each other. But we got to a point where something needed to happen. Something needed to be said. Somebody needed to say something. Now, if you're in an argument with somebody, you're not going to say everything the right way. But it got to a point where y'all ain't going to just keep running, start calling me bizarre and impressed for all these years. I got to a point, how many more times y'all going to call me crazy? How many more times y'all going to give me fake medication that makes me fat off of a misdiagnosis when I really have slight signs of autism from the car accident? But then y'all gave me, you say, whatever, just give them that bipolar medication. Y'all try to kill the superheroes. But we here, we alive.
It's wild because his new album just dropped and he went #1 without the label. Real independent artist. That's super wild.
Hey, and when I found out that McDonald's have a contract with over 10,000 hospitals across the world.
Why not?
I'm trying to figure out, how does that make sense?
It makes perfect sense.
How does that make sense, bro?
When did you ever go into a hospital to recover from anything and feel like you were better in any way in this sterile environment with these laminate floors, with these walls that look like you're actually about to be processed for a custodial sentence? Where did you ever feel?
That's why I call a hospital a house of hospitality.
Yeah.
That's what I call it, the house of hospitality. I'll make you comfortable until you die. Don't worry. I'll make you comfortable. Electric this,
There's
electric
nothing to worry about when you're dying, right?
You get what I'm saying?
In the United States, there's a mysterious country located about 45 minutes outside of Reno, Nevada. This country isn't the US. They have their own legal currency, a navy, a cheerful population, and an independent president. Yes, you heard it right. There are 2 presidents in the United States. It's the Republic of Molossia, covering less than 11 acres. This is a micronation founded by Kevin Baugh. Every day, they faithfully sing their national anthem and raise their flag. What's even more interesting is that they have their own customs and immigration office, and they even operate in a distinct time zone. Here, you don't need cash or credit cards. Instead, chocolate chip cookie dough serves as currency. This small nation has only 32 residents and 2 dukes, but it hasn't received recognition from the US government. So, what if you were to conquer it? Would you become the leader? Who are their allies? Can you imagine what would happen if the US discovered that Molossia has oil?
Now that's something I did not know. I mean, if you knew that, let me know in the comments. Because most likely you're probably capping if you say you knew.
I actually started off in the car business. Anybody that ever gets in a car accident, you need to call the insurance company and sue. That's why everybody should have full coverage, even if you got the crappiest car on the block, because then you're covered on your own insurance. Always do that, because I know so many people that have gotten rich because they got in a car accident. So that's just one little inside baseball. That's some of the best lawsuits you can have. You get in a car accident, you can get paid. I'm not saying purposely get in a car accident. I'm just saying a lot of people get paid that way. But
the truth of the matter is he was into women. Michael Jackson didn't have a problem with little boys. He had girlfriends. He was married several times. We had to hide that and go to our greatest lengths to not let the fans know he was married or who he was dating at the time. This is the biggest mistake Michael made, maybe. He was told by Motown Records, which is who's discovered him and signed him up, never show anybody that you're married, that you have a girlfriend, or your sexuality. Whether you're gay or straight, don't do it, because you'll cut your fan base off. We used to sneak the girls into his hotel suite so the fans and the media didn't notice. That was Michael's thing. Towards the end of his life, we used to say, I think it's about time now, because it's kind of backfiring with the age of social media coming out. Come out with your wife or your girlfriend. You need to show that you're into women. And then he obviously passed away. I had a big tabloid, the biggest in the world, call me from New York saying, Matt, we want to interview about these allegations and this documentary's come out about Michael. I said, sure. Why don't you interview his girlfriend who's done a best-selling book about her relationship with Michael? Why don't you interview her, interview this girl, this woman? So, oh yeah, I know. We know about the girlfriends, we know about the wives, but it goes against the narrative of the story of the world. And to generate advertisers to buy our newspapers and web clicks, that won't work, mate. I said, I just forget it. I'll just put the phone down.
That's definitely interesting in the side of Michael that most probably never knew.
some time. But again, you can be with us right now.
Okay, now hear me out for a second, okay? Because I watched it a few times, and I was like, you know what? Maybe the camera just glitched. But it glitched for no one else. It only glitched on Banana. And then creepy enough, like, y'all, look at what it did. Like, it took her whole face. Like, that's extra. But for me, you know, in movies, how they always, like, portray, like, that black, creepy, mask-like, ghosty thing roaming around. Like the things in Harry Potter. Have y'all seen that movie, The Babadook? Okay. The Babadook. I just can't figure out why everybody keeps talking about why Beyonce's face keeps glitching. Like, her face actually factually does keep glitching. You can't... Look. We all forgot about Mitch, right? Glitching when his handler touched him. Okay. Oh, I can't think of the black lady. Remember the black lady put the video up? And she was just staring? Auntie Maxine or somebody, okay? Why are they all glitching right now? And why does Orb want to be able to identify between AI and humans, aka clones? Why do you have a program paying people internationally to come get their eye scanned so you can have a database? Kind of weird. First of all, okay, that tunnel, you guys, that is the to me, that is the inside of a neuron. Okay, the actual very inside of the tube that connects your brains, like the most microscopic vision of the bridge, how they say your brain is connected by the bridges and neurons. That's what that, y'all. And then for it to zoom out into the freaking legs being open, so you're coming out of the uterus, right? And we all been having this big fight about the original creations of who everybody are. If y'all don't realize, that's what the big fight about the 1%, okay, the political parties and the 99% is. It's all about land, okay, control. They literally use the 1%, okay, to control us. Superstars are in the 1%. Why don't you ever see superstars talking to politicians openly? That's a conflict of interest. That's not good for business. But then Beyonce, it's zooming out into what, for me, looked like a fallen angel. Like that was supposed to represent something. But Beyonce, you get creepier. You get a little bit creepier, baby. That ain't a halo, okay? The little white thing around them don't represent a halo, okay? Let me tell you the truth. If you go look at real architecture that was painted back in the day, okay? Above the most highest person was a black circle to show that they were the absolute power, okay? Black is the absolute color, the absolute power, okay? White is the absence of power, the absence of color, okay? And more importantly, that is a sun behind them for Saturn, this sun god. Don't believe me? Okay. Okay. Why? Madonna, Katy Perry, okay, even Britney Spears and had some real questionable outfits, right? I showed you Madonna's. Okay. Y'all, really look at this. We talked about the Statue of Liberty. Really look at this. Really think about this, okay? And then this last, we're going to end here, the Renaissance tour, okay? Y'all trying to out here fighting like, yeah, it's a bed behind it. Yeah, it's a bed because y'all sleeping. It's a real, actual, factual metaphor. The Beyonce's Renaissance tour, okay, mixed with Leave the World Behind and Civil War, and she's out here with a bed to telling y'all they're sleeping while a black hole is in the middle of her stomach. Okay, y'all gotta wake up sometime. Then you got Blue Ivy throwing up the diamond, okay, the diamond, the cipher creation. Hey, you guys don't realize Jay-Z didn't create that, okay? He didn't just throw up the diamond, okay? That was a sign. That's a sign. But this is the actual, okay, facts. Remember the police were doing all this, how this turned into a game and a joke? Yeah, no, not a joke, okay? This, not a joke. This is the actual peace sign, okay? In the actual community, okay, the real community, this is peace. This was tainted. This flip down there, yeah, okay? This together, yeah, go look at every picture and go see this, okay? But he'll be holding a cross, okay? All right, have a good day.
It was a point in there where she brought it together, you know. In the beginning, I felt like she was reaching a bit, but then, you know, she brought out a little bit about, you know, the sun gods and whatnot. So I was like, you know, that she might have some validity to her. But let me know what you think about that in the comments. Well, you guys, hey, that's another one in the books. I appreciate you guys for stopping by yet again and watching another one with me. If you haven't already, smash that subscribe button, and I will definitely catch you on the next one.